What's going on, everybody? I'm John at Pan Sports, and today we're going to talk about Alabama wide receiver Jameson Williams. He is a tall, lean, electric receiver. He is a pure speed guy. This is a kid that broke records in track and field in high school. There's obviously always a place for a receiver that can take the top off of defense. He's going to give cornerbacks and man coverage a handful. Now he's going to have to improve his release off the line. I think that's going to be his first real challenge. Teams are going to try to prevent him from running deeper routes because that's where he's going to do the most damage. I think if this kid gets in the right offense in the NFL with the right quarterback, he's going to be a problem. There was a few instances where I saw him have a little bit trouble tracking the ball through the air, but for the most part, he did that pretty well. That's just a minor thing he can improve on. That should come with time and coaching. I just think he's going to be a killer once he bulks up a bit. He really needs to add strength to his body. Until he gets stronger, he's going to keep running into the press off the line problem. As a Giants fan, I've seen how difficult to overcome that can be. I also think Williams can be a weapon on special teams. This past season he returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. So if a team wants to use him as a returner, there's definitely some added value he brings. This is a kid that just has a nose for the end zone. He had 11 touchdowns that were 30 yards or more down the field. That's just last season. That's pretty good. Williams is a big-time playmaker. He also showed some yards after catch, so I think you can use him in some of them short stuff, like screens or sweeps. Just get the ball to this guy and let him go to work. Get him in the open field. So I think he could fit in a Shanahan, McVay type of scheme, as well as some of that deeper stuff we've seen. I think he could be a weapon with them back-shouldered type catches. He has a huge catch radius, long arms, good hands. His route running is pretty good. He's a long stride type of wide receiver. He's got good burst, but to get to his top speed, it's going to take an extra tick to just get there. But once this kid is full speed, though, he is just a nightmare to deal with. I've already talked about his long arms and hands, so you must respect his deep routes. And that opens up deep curls whenever he wants them. I like the way he sinks his hips, snaps off routes. For a bigger wide receiver, his change of direction is really nice. I've heard some people say he'd be better as a slot wide receiver. If he could improve catching in traffic, I wouldn't mind that. But at the moment, I really want to see him on the outside more than not. I just think his speed will garner more attention there. And like I said previously, it just opens up stuff for other players. I get why people think he's a slot guy, though. There's plays on tape where he does a great job of finding open holes in zone. Williams is definitely a smart guy. I saw him regularly identify coverages and how defenses were trying to attack him, so that's nice to see. That's another reason I think if he can get on a team with a really good quarterback, he'll do great. Listen, he's just an all-around wide receiver. I want to see more effort in his run blocking. There was times I came away from a play where I thought the effort was poor. The best wide receivers are competent run blockers. This is competition. I need more from them. Nowadays, you see a lot of wide receivers that are either a deep speed guy or a gimmick receiver on the short stuff. I love that Williams is effective at both. I think he'll find a role on just about any offense out there. Maybe he wouldn't be great on a team like the Eagles where the quarterback is running a lot, which would force him to be blocking more often. Other than that, he'll find a spot, I think, until he bulks up a bit. I'd like the team that drafts him to put him in situations where he doesn't have to deal with, press cornerbacks a lot. Use him in bunch sets, stuff like that. Maybe move him around throughout the game. Just get him to full speed down the field, and good things will start to happen. Now, Jameson suffered an ACL tear in a national title game, so I don't know when he'll be ready to start his rookie season. Does he sit out the entire rookie year? I don't know. That's probably going to hurt his draft stock. If you're taking a guy at 10 to 20 in the draft, you're going to want day one production. That's where I think he would have went if he was healthy in that 10 to 20 area of the first round. With injury, who knows where he'll go in this draft? Maybe a team that is a playoff contender grabs him up at the back end of the first. I imagine someone will. I'd be surprised if he falls at a second. I think all teams that are 20th pick and back in this year's draft will have a tough choice to make. There is not many blue chip players in this year's draft. There is a steep fall off this year after the first 7-8 guys. And Jameson Williams is the best deep ball wide receiver in this year's draft. It's going to be tough for a team to draft this kid and have to wait. Very unfortunate injury. So this should be a nice, sweet, and short analysis. Jameson Williams is a complete wide receiver. He is a weapon. If he can add strength to his game, he'll have a ridiculous ceiling. If he remains where he is right now, then I view him like a Robbie Anderson, Will Fuller type of player. He's going to have to put in the work, and let's hope he can stay healthy in the future. If my Giants were sitting on the back end of this draft and took this kid, I'd be ecstatic. If your team drafts him, be happy. But that's it for me. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe. I have all kinds of prospect videos all the way up to the draft. I'm going to start my ranking videos very soon. Probably have my first one on my edge rushers out today. I think I'll start with just the first round, who I think will go there, and I'll rank them. But that's it. Thank you all for the growth of the channel, the support. I appreciate you all. Peace.